Episode 3 of City Rabble. I'm Ed.
This is Max.
And we got quite a few things that we get to talk about this day. It's like a huge list.
Holy fuck.
I didn't when we first started, talked about doing the podcast today, I was honestly thinking like, oh shit, what are we going to talk about? But now that I've like all these
You've
small
compiled the
pieces,
list. It's a whole fucking shit.
It's a pretty big fucking list. So if you've noticed, we're absent from Aaron today. He's not able to make it today. It was his birthday this weekend though, so happy birthday, Aaron. Let's just dive right into this because there's so much shit to talk about. But in this episode, we're going to be talking. I'm just going to go over a quick overview on this for the viewers so that you can just. This is what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, cool.
We're going to be talking about 3D emulator, Ghostbusters and Civil War trailer, retro VGS and their constant fuck ups.
Holy fuck, dude.
Simpsons fake news is something that you wanted added to the list.
That's been amusing this week.
EA dropping out of E3, Nintendo Direct and what it actually does to affect E3. Leonardo DiCaprio finally gets an Oscar.
It might have been a pity Oscar. Let's face it, it might have been a pity Oscar.
Street Fighter V ranking. Dark Souls FPS. I might cut that out, but we'll see if we have enough time to talk on that. That'll be the first one gone. PS TV no longer being supported out in Japan. Fable Legends being canceled. Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro working together again. We got comic talk. We got music talk. AVGN hitting 2 million, a Zelda review, crossplay, and next rumors.
Oh my god, so much shit today. So
let's start her off with the video game stuff because we know most of our people, most of our people want to hear kind of about the video game stuff. So I want to start this off with one topic that you wanted to talk about. So
yes, this 3D NES emulator.
Yeah, that's where we're going to start.
Yep. I know you don't have much to say about this.
I do.
You seem like you think it's a bit of a gimmick, which
it's
it totally
gimmicky.
is.
It's gimmicky.
It so is.
Yeah.
But the fact is, you know what? I've been playing these games for 20 plus years, NES games for people who don't know. And what these guys have done on the internet have gone and made a 3D emulator out of it. So basically you're taking your NES ROM files and it's artificially creating a depth layer to it, which to me looks super cool. I can see these games now in this.
I've seen some of the screenshots on them. I will admit they look amazing. They really look cool. They're a new perspective to play. I don't think it's going to be as well emulated as a lot of people think when it actually comes out. I've heard, I haven't seen these, but I've heard the Contra stuff doesn't look very good on the top-down stuff.
Well, yeah, because it's already...
It's all meant to be, like, side-scrolling, and that's what it seems to base itself off of, which is fine. And like, I mean, I saw Mega Man. Mega Man looked fucking awesome.
And considering it is a beta, it is still kind of in its beta before its final release. So, I mean, they could kind of fix these issues. Because to me, what it looks like it's doing is it's taking the sprite, adding multiple layers of the same sprite to literally give it that depth. That looks like it's all it's doing.
And I get it. And it totally does have a very awesome like feel to it and look to it. I honestly think that the big thing for this emulator is it's not going to be this one. It's going to be the 10th one down where it's going to be amazing.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, this is just the beginning stages of something.
So for you, this kind of just gets you excited because like, holy crap, now that people have seen this, what is the next guy?
Yeah, and then the next guy. Yep. And then finally we have an emulation project that actually works the way that people are envisioning this thing to be.
But to me, I think it still just gives me that hope. And honestly, I look at this thing like, you know what? I want to see this on like a Retron console at some point.
Well, yeah, and the thing about Retron 5 is that it's so just moddable. Like, regardless of it being illegal emulation and stuff, I don't give a shit.
We own the cartridge, so that gets around.
It helps us with it.
Yeah.
But the fact that they illegally took the emulator and put it on the thing, I don't care about any of that. Like, I get that it wasn't their emulator and stuff, but the fact that it's so open source for us to do whatever we want with and just kind of add things to it, it's so great that you can just patch out your Famicom games and be able to play out here. It's really cool.
And I'm just waiting for the guys who are modding the Retron 5. Just, hey, put the SD card in to load the new emulator on. That's what I'm really waiting for.
And I think it will eventually get to something like that. So, like, let's hope that actually happens. Or they'll just do Retron 6 or something.
Yeah, and add it in. Because to me, it looks super cool. So if anyone hasn't seen this, go look it up. 3D NES emulator.
It does look really nice.
Super cool.
So on to the retro gaming topics. Our retro
Drama.
VGS,
Drama.
retro VGS are the Coleco Chameleon, or I guess it's just the fucking
It's
Chameleon
the VGS now.
It's the Chameleon.
Is it
because
just a Chameleon?
I think it's just Chameleon. Well, it's nothing now, is what
It's
it is.
nothing. It was nothing to begin with.
It's disappeared off the internet, is what happened.
Okay, so you know what? Let's kind of catch people up from a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you take the lead on this one, okay?
Because literally a couple weeks ago we were discussing this. It's like, oh, you know, if it comes out, it'll never be a really viable product. Since that episode, so much shit has come to light on this. So if anyone doesn't know, the Retro VGS was a kind of a homebrew console where these fans were wanting to make a brand new cartridge-based console. After a couple weeks, they got in touch with Coleco, got the Coleco license to it. That turned into a whole shitstorm altogether.
Yeah, I think that the Coleco license, I think Coleco just wanted to get their name on something again. They did. At this point. But as soon as they started getting the backlash, that's
deserving fucking backlash. Because at some point, the Coleco Chameleon guys brought their quote-unquote prototype to a trade show, and I think we discussed this last time.
Yeah, this was the discussion on the last one.
The Super Nintendo inside the Atari Jaguar case.
No, but Max, but wait. They did release the prototype later again.
Of course they did.
With the capture card in it. It was beautiful.
Oh, and then this is what really obviously started the whole fucking mess.
Yeah, that was the actual capture. Okay, the beginning was the SNES being put in there. Later on, that capture card, that was the beginning of like the week of hell for these guys.
Have no clue what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, I can't speak about them personally. I don't know.
Oh, I think a lot of us
I don't know really their backgrounds on things. I can't remember his name even for that
Mike
matter.
Kennedy. That's the main guy who
I know that he's part of Retro Magazine.
Yeah,
he was like one of the people in Retro Magazine. Yep. So he had some sort of reputable name in the industry.
So people knew him, and I guess that's where like, oh, this could be a thing, right? And like you said, now with that goddamn capture card as the prototype, this kind of put the nail in the coffin where it's like, this is bullshit. None of this was ever a thing from the goddamn beginning.
And I agree. Yeah, no, he's always been a shot and a dream, and he was hoping to get the money to either one of two things. He was trying to get the money so that he can actually create this thing without actually having anything to do it, or he was just trying to get the money and scam people. Now, I don't want to make speculation that he was trying to scam.
Because we don't know all of these. Yeah, exactly.
It has to be one of those two things, because he clearly didn't have a working prototype or something that actually goes with it. So.
And then along with all this drama, one thing I kept hearing was the fact that one of his big things was he wanted to go to Kickstarter, because let's face it, there's Indiegogo, there's GoFundMe, but
we talked about this on the last time.
Is the big one, yeah.
Kickstarter you can't do unless, when it comes to video games or any type of hardware, you have to have a working prototype.
Yep. And they tried to pass off a quote-unquote prototype, and they got caught on it.
You know what we're going to do is we're going to take my TurboGrafx, we're just going to run tape all around it, and we'll draw a picture on the tape, and that's our new prototype. And we'll put it on Kickstarter next week. Just look out for it.
Let's put a DS inside of it. So
a DS just jammed right. It's small chips. That's what it is. I don't know. The thing that they tried to pull was definitely shady. It really damaged our community, I think. It for outsiders' perspective of seeing this big thing happening and then all of a sudden it just dropping the way that it did.
There was a ton of infighting from this from a lot of the YouTubers actually.
Oh yeah, I mean Pat the NES Punk had a fight with like Gamester. And you're not gonna like my next little talk on this, but fucking what's his name? Alpha Omega Sin.
Yeah.
Needs to do a little research before he talks. He's a fucking idiot.
To be honest,
he never talks. He just spits shit out of his mouth. I will give Gamester the benefit of the doubt because Gamester was upset because it was more directed towards him. When it comes to Alpha Omega Sin, on the other hand, he just wants to be pissed. Yeah. That's all he wants, and it shows. And I literally have no respect for him.
And me and you have discussed this before, because I've said in the past I'm a fan of the guy. And you know what? I still like a certain amount of videos. For me, I have gone to the point where I'm like, I know he's going to be over angry in this video. I do not want to watch this video.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened with this. So he kind of went on a shitstorm. Again.
And blaming people left, right, and center. Yeah. And I think a lot of what happened was based off of his video. More so than Gamester's.
It kind of started around there,
yeah. It's not that Gamester didn't have a lot of fuel towards it. It's just, I think his Alphas was more the thing that kicked it off into high gear.
But you know
where
what?
It became Pat fans versus Gamester fans.
And unfortunately, Pat has the bigger subscriber base, so it seemed like
honestly
Gamester was kind of getting the worst of that.
Pat's just an honest dude. That's what it is. He doesn't care. He doesn't care what
you
think.
You know what, though? Pat will admit, he'll fully admit, he's a bit of an asshole.
He knows.
You can tell he is.
He's an asshole, but he will tell you the truth. He's not going to lie to you.
And the whole thing that started, because like, even like when you watch Gamster's video, he's like, he doesn't say that Pat names him by name.
No, he doesn't.
But it's pretty clear he's kind of referring to him. And then Gamester goes out and kind of mentions Pat in his video. He's like, hey, dude, what the fuck? And super strange to see Gamester in that light, because fucking he's always the
he's a positive dude.
Positive, nice, calm, monotone.
Yeah, I'm on the fence on that too, because I do like Gamester. Gamster's we've had small discussions and conversations in the past with our channel and him. He's an awesome dude. I really like the stuff that he does. He helps. He's one of. I've heard, the Thrift Dwellers were talking about Metal Jesus being, is he going to keep retro going? No, I think Gamester is.
Yeah.
Gamster's the guy that keeps the community going. He runs sites. He doesn't really care who he puts on his site, to the sense of, like, they don't need to be
have
big.
Huge subscribers.
Yeah, he supports people that he believes in, and it's really keeping our community going. Whereas, like, Pat the NES Punk has more, like, a production value on his stuff.
He does.
But so I think Gamester keeps our community live a little bit more. He just happened to develop something for a company he didn't know much about and backed it because he was the one developing games.
And this is the way I'm defending Gamester in this situation, because I'm like, because a lot of Pat's fans who are kind of going on the attack on the dude.
Well, that was the worst part, is Pat's fans are rabid too, when they like real fans of his are rabid.
But they were trying to make it sound like, oh, you're in cahoots with this guy. So it's like, what, guys? Look at this from a certain perspective. They're developing a game for a console. They are not developing the console. They're not having.
They have nothing really to do with the console.
They're just like,
if they did, they would know right away, because they couldn't put something on.
And
the
that's what
console
Gamester
that existed,
said.
Right?
Gamester was saying in his video, we wanted to start looking at the console itself. We're making a game for it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we want to see what's going on with it, and they couldn't get a straight answer.
There was nothing they could do. Period.
No, so they were kind of in the same boat as us, the fans, who are like, we just want to see something happen, kind of.
I think this whole situation could have been avoided just by a online conversation between the two of them.
Easily dealt with.
Yeah, like just
super easily dealt with.
They just talk to each other.
Yeah,
and that would have really made a huge difference. But I mean, on the same side, I'm a big Pat the NES Punk fan. I'm a big Gamester fan. I fucking hate Alpha Omega Sin. I just don't like him.
At this point,
and this is just a personal thing. I'm not trying to be objective.
Exactly.
I'm sorry if any of our fans out there are fans.
And you know what? I still like Alpha Omega.
You're a fan.
I can't watch certain videos because I know what I'm going to get from it.
Yeah, it's negative.
It's super negative.
For me, it's so easy in this world to be negative. It takes a lot more effort to be positive.
It's a lot easier to, and I think he's actually blocked me on a couple comments, because like I have conversations on his Facebook page.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to the point where, like, dude, I don't agree with you. I have my own point of view, but he seems to always have a thing where it's like, oh, you should have your opinion. But it's like, it's fine to have your own opinion, but to be like, this is it no matter what, because like sometimes facts can come in. A different opinion can be like, you know what, maybe I didn't think of it from that perspective.
Well, yeah.
To always be like, this is just my opinion, goddammit. If you change it, you're an absolute shill of a person. Like, no. Dude,
I live my life and sit on it for a couple hours.
Yeah, exactly.
And then make a comment or something.
You might be mad, you might want blood, but later on you calm down and realize, you know what, not as bad as I thought.
Any time in my life that I did not sit on it for like a little bit and I made a comment, I almost always regretted it.
You always do, because it's like you're just...
Almost always.
Yeah, so. And I think that's where all this came from.
I think it did too.
Reactionary... emotional, fuck you, dude, I'm trying to do something here.
Yeah,
but eventually got.
In my opinion, I think Alpha, you just need to stick to real news. Period. Just stick to that. Don't go after any type of things that you don't really understand or have any like real source of information, because you don't really research as it is.
He's gonna go after who he goes after. So to me, it's like, you know what? When it's that thing where I agree with him, I'm more inclined to watch that video because, hey, I'm having that opinion right now as well.
Yeah. I'm so often on an opposing opinion with him. So,
yeah.
But again, this whole thing, this whole retro VGS thing, really turned our community upside down. Dude, yeah, it really did. And unfortunately, two of our, like, I'd hate to say forefathers, but like two of our heads of our community, which is Pat and Gamester, kind of caught the brunt of both ends of it. Because I'm sure Pat got a lot of hate, because he already gets a lot of hate from a lot of people. They just look for reasons half the time. I'm sure this caused a lot for him too.
Yeah, but it's done. It's over. A lot of the I think we've all taken a step back and realized not as bad as we thought. We're done. It's over.
Retro VGS is now gone. Yeah, no, there was a little bit of drama there for a week or two, but it got cleared up pretty quickly, which is nice. So that's Retro VGS. It's done. We're never going to see it anymore. That's it. That's all.
Just watch it. In a couple of months, it's going to be the Atari Chameleon. Like, fuck's sakes.
Yeah, it could fucking happen. I wouldn't be surprised. Next on our list, I'm just going to cut this one off here. But Nintendo Direct, a few years back, has kind of replaced doing Nintendo Direct instead of doing a E3 presentation. And it's been about 3 years now. I think for the first year that they didn't do an actual presentation, they did floor presence where they would have their thing on the floor, and it was a big thing. I think they did that for 2, but last year, I'm not even sure they did a floor presence. I don't think they were even on the floor at that point. And what I think this has done is starting to show that you don't need E3 to get your point across. With the way that things are now, I get a better presentation out of clicking on something on YouTube than I would ever get through third-party sources on E3.
Because it costs you way more money.
Yeah, like for the companies themselves, it's costing them hundreds of thousands of dollars or whatever it is to get a booth, plus then their presentation. Like Bethesda's going to be doing it. Yeah. But
well, and to be fair to our listeners and stuff like that, we kind of discussed this a little bit in episode 1, but I feel like there is always more to do.
I think a lot of my topic on this one is more for the fact that I think stuff like Nintendo Direct is what's directing people away from doing this thing.
And again, it goes back to online social media. It's so much easier for them to connect with their fan base directly, as like you don't need these events anymore.
Well, you really don't, especially if you're going to spend $150,000. Why not just cut it in half? Spend it on a video, a direct like they're doing. Put the information out there, and people will still report on it. Yep. It doesn't need to be at E3, and it'll be reported just as much. Hell, there's freaking game channels out there that base themselves on Nintendo Directs.
And it's funny, I remember the first fucking Nintendo Direct. I even remember the backlash being like, oh, what's Nintendo doing? This is never going to work for them. It's like,
and it's worked amazingly.
Beautiful. It's worked so much better for them since, actually.
I think it's gotten their point across because they don't need somebody like that. People are going to pay attention to Nintendo anyway. Yep. The thing that this could be used for is like indie developers, but at the same time, there are indie games columns that you can get to.
And you know what? The only one, I guess, point of view that I would say, okay, this would maybe hurt, but even again, not even that much, because you're not going to your direct fan base. Let's face it, the regular news source, like, you know, whatever news source you're kind of used to, will always report on the E3 just because of kind of a little side story. Like, hey, this happened this week in the...
You watch IGN, there's going to be a week of E3, right?
Exactly, but now you have things like IGN, what's it called? GiantBomb.com, Polygon.
Explain,
yeah, so
Machinima.
all these places will cover this for you gladly. So you don't need to spend this money.
And you're getting it from your personal, like, well, not personal, but your own person that you like to listen to tell you these things, which is nice.
And it hits a lot more personal. Like, do you remember the, I guess the Nintendo Direct before Iwata died, where he was doing the like...
The Muppets one?
Not the Muppets one, before that. The Super Smash Bros. With him versus Reggie.
Oh, yeah.
See, to me, as a Nintendo fan, that connects with me so much more if they just did, oh, hey guys, we're on stage. We're pretending.
Yeah, they're actually playing their games and doing their things and showing they're doing fan favors is what they're doing. They're fan service at that point. And it really does show in the way that they're doing their stuff. And I think that it's working. And I think a lot of other smaller and bigger companies can learn from this to know you don't have to spend all this money and be elaborately in E3. Like, it just doesn't need to happen anymore. I've got friends from the city that go to it all the time, and they're not really interested in going anymore.
Well, because it's like they kind of go, and you know, it's nice to go on the floor and play the games. Let's put it that way. That'll be nice.
Yeah, you get to check some. Like, I would love to go there and fuck around with Dark Souls. I would love to do that, but I mean, I don't care. You know, like for me to do that isn't worth the price of admission and the headache of dealing with everything that's there.
Staying lines and like lining up for everything.
It's like Comic-Con, baby. You know, like it's not quite as busy as Comic-Con, but it's still got the same sort of feel to it. You're standing in line just to play for 5 minutes and then fuck off.
So one of these days, dude, I think we both anticipate there'll be a point where it's like Nintendo Direct, Xbox Direct, PlayStation Direct.
You know, they're all going to have their own names. You know, like PlayStation Experience. So they're doing their own thing as it is, right?
Yeah, they already have that going. So I mean, like I said, we've talked about this before, but this will come up over and over again because you're going to see the death of E3 at some point.
It's coming, and it's going to be a long, slow death because E3 will hang on to it as much as possible.
E3 will have to evolve into something else, the way it did from the CES show.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it'll have to turn into something else because
this isn't going to pull it.
No.
I don't think. So next on the gaming side of news, Street Fighter V has been released. I think we talked a little bit about how bare of a game that it was on the last episode. More news has come out over the past little bit. Nothing too crazy, but...
Let's put it this way. Guys are little bitches.
Yeah, guys are...
yeah, they're little bitches. Because, I mean, our buddies, the Thrift Dollars, have been playing a ton of Street Fighter V.
We're not calling them little bitches.
No. But I see Lester pointing out all the time where he's, like, playing a match and these assholes drop out. And there was, at one point, there was zero really repercussions. Yeah, repercussions for doing so. I believe their top 2-tier players, one is, like, a very famous... Actual, like this is what he does. Like, he's a legit player. And the other person was nobody ever heard of. And it was World Combo, I think his name was.
And you go to his history, and he had like an 80 to 90% disconnect rate.
Yeah.
So anytime this fucking idiot would start losing, he would just disconnect his internet. And lo and behold, he didn't lose the points because that's the way that the setup was. You would win, you get points. You lose points. If you just disconnect, nothing really happens. So on Capcom's credit, they saw that this was an issue. They saw this thing was happening and started looking through these things and fucking punished these assholes.
Yes.
And like punished them
well. Quote unquote punished. Like, let's look at it this way. They're not seriously getting punished.
They dropped
their ranks.
They dropped their ranks. He was at like, I think it was 50,000, 60,000 to get in that platinum part. I can't remember what it was, but he went down to like 2,000 after that because they knocked the percentage off of his disconnect rate. Like, 80%? Well, guess what? We're taking 80% of your points away. Now, I'm sure this dude was pissed at first, but I mean, what did you expect? Look at Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat has a great fucking system.
Yeah, it does.
You fucking disconnect, you blow up, you're dead.
Exactly.
It's a loss on your record, period. And like, I mean, it's a different game. Like, I mean, literally different game.
Because this is game, absolutely.
This is competition. The other one is online. It's just a thing that they do to track.
But the fact is, from day one, because I bought Mortal Kombat X on launch.
Yeah.
That one had that system in place from day one of their online fucking service.
Yeah, they knew that this was going to be an issue.
Street Fighter V, you guys are the premier fighting game amongst all the fighting game tournaments. You couldn't figure this out for day one.
No, it just doesn't make fucking sense how they didn't do this.
And again, it goes to the fact that Street Fighter and Capcom division, they're just not giving a shit about this game.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. It just, I think that they're giving a shit. I don't know.
It's hard to say, right? Because you're like,
you get this bare bones game, but from what their reasoning for it kind of makes sense to me. Like the fact that they wanted all these competition people to have it early so that they can do, because this is competition season for the next 3 months. So they wanted this to be part of this competition season. What will be the point of them releasing it at the end of the competition?
You're absolutely right. No, that makes a ton of sense. So it's like, let's get this in for that tournament. Screw the rest of the players who actually just want to play this.
Yeah. But I mean, they're also making free promises. You know, they're like, hey, we're going to give you this, and all the stuff is coming.
Yeah.
This was more for the competition person, the serious player that wants to get it now and play it now, and it makes sense. You know, like I guess I kind of get that concept.
But it's this weird thing where it's like, you know, and me and you've discussed this in the past, where it's like we both love Capcom games. We do. We love tons of their franchises: Mega Man, Street Fighter, Resident Evil, Final Fight, whatever the case may be.
I love old Capcom like crazy. Fucking Capcom Disney.
Capcom Disney games, for the NES.
Love that shit.
Tons of really
even Super
amazing
Nintendo
games. Exactly.
Even Super Nintendo.
But the issue I've had for years was I will not support a brand new Capcom game off launch because I do not want to support those business practices.
Yeah, I know it's changed. It's kind of taken the way of Konami, where they have their own. Throughout the years, it's
their
changed.
Own fuck you division. Their own fuck you division. Yeah.
Basically, like. Not as bad as Capcom, because Capcom really got bad there. But I think the leadership has changed hands so many times that its original vision is no longer there.
But my thing is, like, with Capcom, like you kind of just mentioned, they've gotten better with that bullshit they used to do. So much so, with ton of the games that I'm willing to kind of give
at least give them chances when things come
Absolutely. On. But it seems like with their Street Fighter division, no guys, keep it as is. This works for every game. Why do we change
They're not that unjustified.
It absolutely works. Their fans keep going buy this fucking game over.
Like, I'm a fan of Street Fighter. I liked Part 4. I didn't put competition amount of hours into it, but I played it a lot. And Part 5, playing this one, I can tell you right now, there is a huge difference in just control alone and being able to have precise blocking, precise movements, combos. It is improved exponentially in these small parts that if you're looking at one small part, it doesn't look like they did anything. You have to look at everything that they've done to change up for 5 and things that they've taken away and like that ultra combo.
And
that
we were
ultra
playing
shit.
Before the show started. So, I mean, for me, I can see, yes, it is technically improvement.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm almost like, did they really need to do Street Fighter 5? I don't think they did. I personally don't think they did. They needed to sell something and pack. Exactly. They just need to sell and package something, and that was Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, I think they could have waited a little bit. But that being said, their new roster, the people that are new in that, is actually good. I like the characters.
There have been a lot of good comments where the hardcores are like, you know what, these new guys don't suck.
It's better balanced.
Shahid guy, whatever you're playing. The Middle Eastern guy. Yeah. He actually has a pretty cool moveset.
He's got a moveset. He's a bit of a dominator.
They're trying
how to use him, but
they're actually trying now.
He's for me, it's just I think that they've just dealt with balancing throughout the years really well. Aside from releasing another game and then releasing the next game because they didn't have DLC in the Super Nintendo era, right? So they had to do the super ultra crazy, insane Street Fighter 2 Turbo Edition.
And I guess
with Cinnamon.
And I guess I always come back to that thing, as a fan, Let me buy the game and enjoy it for the price I paid for it. Don't make me buy this game and then continue to buy it.
Yeah, I think that's fair too.
Yeah, so that's Street Fighter V.
So yeah, that's in a nutshell. That's what we feel about Street Fighter V. I think we're kind of a little bit on opposing opinions on a few things. A little bit,
yeah.
On a few things, but for the most part, we got the same idea. So next on our list for video games, unfortunately, we have to mourn the loss of Fable and Fable Legends.
Yes.
We lost Fable Legends.
And this is the one that people really wanted to play, too.
I think for the most part, it seemed like it had good buzz. Like, I played part 1, I played part 2, I played part 3. Not all the way through, I just played them.
Yeah.
So let's just get that out on the table right now. I'm not a huge Fable fan. Steph really liked it.
This series has its dedicated fan base that love these games.
Oh, absolutely. But I don't think Fable Legends could have been. You could have slapped any name on that game, and it would have been a completely. It would have been the same fucking thing. Like, it's not a Fable game. It was. You know what it was? It was Dungeons and Dragons.
It's Gauntlet a little bit.
Really, I think Dungeons and Dragons. You have your fucking dungeon master that controls everything, and then you got your 4 heroes to do it.
It's a video. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a video game version of that.
Now, if they were smart, they should have just did Dungeons and fucking Dragons. You know, like, this guy is the dictator. These people are trying to fight the opposing dictator. Well, and it would have been an amazing thought. I bet you more people would have backed and more people would have been behind it, more so than the Fable. Like, I think they had this concept for this game, and Xbox was like, well, we have to put a famous name to this. And Fable was the next thing, because they didn't have something going for
It's too weird for them to, like I said, just make it an original title. Well, let's attach an IP to it that has namesake to it. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah, Contraforce, right?
But you know what? I'm almost looking at this and I'm thinking, you know what? This might have been a better game for the Wii U.
I think
the gamepad. Just have that gamepad there. The guy can click on everything.
Absolutely. To me, this is just a Contraforce situation where they just jam the name on because it's what they think will sell more units.
And to be fair, that happens with a lot of shit.
It does.
Everything we love. So.
I think that the lack of interest is what made this kind of disappear.
I don't think it was lack of interest. I think it was because when I used to work in the video game store, talking to a lot of Fable fans, they wanted this game to come out. It's just the fact that...
How many Fable fans? That's the question, right?
That, and also, are they advertising this game right now? They've not talked about this since that E3 event.
Yeah. That was the last time I really heard any information. There was a couple little blurbs here and there. And
again, from the hardcores, you'd mostly hear.
Yeah, mostly the hardcores.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be saying Fable Legends anytime in the near future. No. It doesn't sound like it's going to happen. Apparently, you can still get the beta for it and still play it. That hasn't disappeared. But unfortunately, we're done.
What's the point?
We're not going to be able to get it. Yeah.
So a studio's down.
Which studio was this again?
Lionhead Studios.
Yeah, Lionhead Studios.
And they're the guys who made the other Fable games.
Yeah, so rest in peace, Lionhead Studios. You did us well for 3
You had a lot
games,
of fans. You guys had
and there's a lot of people that liked you.
Yep.
But unfortunately, it just didn't pan out with Fable Legends.
And it happens.
So sorry. Unfortunately, we will never see you.
Nope.
So Hideo Kojima is on PlayStation 4.
And we discussed this again in the previous episode. It made sense for them to do this.
It was the right move for him. He got out of Capcom because Capcom was... Or Konami, sorry, not Capcom. He got out of Konami because Konami was basically oppressing him and not allowing him to do any of his original ideas. And I know you're not a big Kojima fan, but he has a lot of ideas.
You know what? I'm not the biggest Kojima fan, but I still acknowledge his presence in the game world. And I'm like, you know what?
You can tell a Kojima game before any other game.
And he's inspired so many people that I can't be like, oh, fuck Kojima, get rid of him. I'm like, no, he has his place. I don't like everything he does, but it inspires other people to do all that.
Absolutely. So it made sense for him to get out of Konami and do his own thing. So he's doing Kojima Studios for PS4. And the rumors going around, or I don't even...
PT's coming back.
It's not PT.
It's not going to be called PT, but it'll be the same content.
Guillermo del Toro is getting together with him again, and they're going to start working on a game. And it's great to hear because he said that he would never try another game again because everything he's ever done hits hell, and it disappears, and it ends up being the death of games.
But you know what? When I hear that, I'm like, oh, dealing with the major studios is probably bullshit. Now he's dealing with the creator directly, creator to creator, and it's like, hey... We both want the exact same thing.
Let's just do this.
Yeah, exactly.
And that brainchild that's going to come out of those two.
Oh, it'll be amazing.
I cannot wait to get my hands on whatever they have planned. Take fucking 3 years.
Yep.
Give me a long, hard, fucking
I'll wait 10 years.
Insanely
I'll wait 10 years.
Fucked up game that's probably going to come out of those two, and I cannot wait to see
for that
game.
You have two creators, one who aspires so hard to be a movie creator.
Yep.
He wants to make films. That's what Kojima wants to do.
Absolutely.
And now you're pairing him up with a guy who knows how to make films.
And like knows how to do horror really well.
Yes.
Like in the sense of visual horror.
Yeah.
That's what he's good at. I'm not a big fan of Pan Labyrinth or anything, but you cannot watch one of his movies without like being visually stunned by what he's doing.
Exactly.
Like, his flavor and the things that he does, holy shit.
That's him creating everything in a physical world.
Yeah.
Give him a complete digital world. It'll be insane.
He can do whatever. Well, look at PT was our good example, right?
Exactly.
That was less of a game than what Street Fighter V gave us.
And so many people were so enthralled with this demo.
I still have it.
A demo.
This demo goes for $1,000 on eBay.
I think they took that down, actually. eBay realized people were charging for that. I'm like, no. You cannot charge for a free demo. So they got rid of that.
If that was gone, sure. But the last time I checked,
guys will still try. Guys will still try. Yeah, guys.
And people were trying to sell it for $1,000 with it on the actual PlayStation. I have it on mine. I will not fucking sell it because it's a great fucking game.
I've been wanting to upgrade my hard drive and I can't because I don't know what happens to that demo if I remove the hard drive. Yeah, I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk it.
Yeah, it goes if you upgrade your hard drive.
So
I promise you.
Let's put it this way: this demo has us so enthralled to like.
I will buy another PS4 before I can get rid of this demo.
Me too.
I absolutely love the game.
Me too.
So well done, and it's one of those ones that once every couple months I'll just play to get fucking scared because that demo legitimately scared me.
Yep.
I've had other games, kind of freak me out.
This game makes us scream.
Yeah,
like shit. Like
I've literally there was one point where I dropped the controller. I'm like, oh fuck this game. Yeah. I'm not doing this. Not tonight.
My favorite one was when I was playing it at Chris's mom's place when we were babysitting or house sitting there, and then I'm playing this game. Oh, what is this game you're playing? Oh, nothing here. Just watch what I'm doing. She doesn't know it's a horror game, so shit's going around. All of a sudden, the girl grabs me, and she fucking screeched the fucking top of her lungs. Absolutely insane.
Steph got nightmares for a couple days because of it when I was playing it in front of her. And we actually had a big party at my place a couple weeks after it had come out. And I'm like, hey, guys, want to try this game out?
Yeah.
None of my friends had a PS4 at this point. I'm like, here, try this game out.
Yeah.
And they started playing it, and they were just like, wow, this is really... I'm like,
beautiful.
They're like, yeah, this looks really nice. And they go through the door, and they're like, why is it the same fucking thing? I'm like, yeah, it does kind of look the same. Man, just keep going.
Don't tell them a thing.
Yeah, don't tell them a thing. And by the end of it, they were just like, wow, like that was an experience. We actually beat it that night, properly beat it.
And it's a demo we're discussing right now.
Yeah.
We have not been as motivated or as entertained or even as terrified
since
any other horror game.
Just games in general. Yeah. I haven't had one soak me in that well in such a short period of time and done so like
legit scary.
If you cut anything out of that game, it's not a good game. No. Every element of that game together made that game.
Every little tiny detail you don't realize, that's a part of this little tiny story they're trying to tell.
We're talking about what, like a 5-minute game to 10-minute game to beat?
If you knew what you're
doing, if you knew every step, 10-minute games to beat. I would buy a collector's edition physical copy of that game.
In a second.
If it ever came out.
Heartbeat.
I would have no problem doing that.
And again, people, we're talking about a demo. This is a goddamn demo we're talking about.
I would easily pay $40-$50 for that. So, Hideo and Galmaro, Jesus Christ, I can't wait to see what you do.
Yeah, take as long as you want.
I'm looking forward to the storybook that you're going to put us through.
Yep.
And
the tones will have to change. It'll be insane. This is going to be an awesome.
Until then...
You
do what you need to do because I think this is going to be a game changer for us.
Don't rush.
I really do.
Don't rush the fucking product.
Okay, so we're getting pretty close to the end of our gaming topics.
Yeah.
There's a few more things I do want to talk about. Number one, for those of you that are not new to the channel, you know that I'm a big Zelda fan. To those of you that are new to the channel, I'm a big Zelda collector. I have... Pretty much, damn near everything. I'm missing like the CDI games and a couple other special editions, but for the most part, I got everything there is that you can get for Zelda. There's nothing that I'm missing.
I'm looking at a soundtrack that a lot of people try to find right now.
Yeah,
so.
I've got a lot of damn stuff. Yeah. So recently, we had a HD remake of The Twilight Princess, and I just kind of want to put my bit out there about this game. So this is going to be a little bit solo. You can bring in whatever you want on topic on this, but... I've put it in. I bought 2 copies of it. I got a sealed copy that I'm just going to keep in my cabinet, and then I got my copy that I opened up and used for the Wolf Amiibo.
Crazy, by the way. Absolutely insane.
So it was one of those things I just wanted to do.
Yeah.
I've been playing it. The HD upscaling on this is actually amazing. It looks great. The textures are beautiful. Not that it was choppy.
Before you go forward, is this an HD remake that technically needed to happen?
No.
No. Okay.
Unfortunately not. I will say
it just
that.
looks gorgeous.
It looks gorgeous, though. It's very like, you remember the GameCube version. I'm going to go for the GameCube, not the Wii version, because there's less of a difference between the Wii and the Wii U, but there's a great difference between the GameCube version and that. So with the GameCube version, everything kind of had like a smoky haze to it when you're playing. Not like crazy amounts, but it was still, texture-wise, had a little smoky haze to it. All gone now. Yeah. Everything's brighter, vibrant, faces look great. It looks a lot like if you're Hyrule Warriors, the textures on that. It looks a lot like that type of texturism.
Kind of brighter and shit.
Much brighter, which I think almost works against this game, because this was a dark game. Out of the Zelda series, there was 2 really dark games. One was the Majora's Mask, and the other one Twilight Princess. Yep. Very dark games. More of an adult darker tone to both of them.
Exactly.
Yeah. So in this version of this game, the controls are it's nice because they went right back to they got rid of the motion controls except for aiming, so because you can still use your
for the bow and arrow.
Yeah, for the bow and arrow. What I don't like is that, if you're doing this, you still have to look at the screen. It's not on your screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it still keeps the map on there. So that's something that I think they could have easily fixed and done. Yeah. Made it like a first-person perspective on your gamepad. That would have probably made it a little bit nicer. But
and again, things we hope for on the next one.
On the next one, yeah. But overall experience is really not that much different of an experience from GameCube.
It's pretty packaging.
Yeah, it really is. But that being said, it's still good. And if you've never played this game is absolutely worth every bit of $70. If you already have 3 copies of it, like I already do, I don't know if it's worth the $70 to put into this, because it's not that much of a difference.
But considering what the GameCube one's going for now, around $70, is it worth it to just grab the GameCube one or just pick up the Wii U version?
For a collector, you want the GameCube. Yeah. For a person that just wants to experience it, you want to pick up the Wii U version of it. It is prettier, it is nicer,
and it gets a nice amiibo with it.
Yeah, you get your amiibo, which honestly doesn't really have much bearing. It gives you a dungeon that is already in the game just early.
I feel like it's probably going to be more in place for the next game, right? Or you know what? Because short little side topic, because we start announcing more amiibos.
Yeah,
there's the Kirby line of amiibos. I'm telling you, dude, Zelda line of amiibos. It's happening.
I know, and I'm fucking disappointed.
Oh, you say that now, but then when you have like a little Moblin amiibo, a fucking
I know, but
amiibo.
Look at how many fucking amiibos I got right there. I've got them stacked at some points because I'm like, fucking Christ, I have no place to put these things anymore. But I'll get them all. I'm not saying I won't. Just as the Zelda goes,
but it'll happen. It'll absolutely happen.
It'll definitely happen.
If Kirby gets its own line of amiibo,
Zelda will definitely getting one. Oh, for sure, it's gonna happen. But yeah, so that's my kind of like in podcast review of Zelda. It's good. If you already have it, I don't think it's really worth picking up. But if you don't, and this is your first experience with it, pick it up. It is a really good experience.
And that's the thing. I have the GameCube one, so like I have it there. Chris has always just fucking had it from her old GameCube days.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I want to actually play it. So for me, I'm gonna pick up the Wii version just to play it. And like I said, a prettier.
It's a prettier version but you're also a collector.
Exactly.
So it's a good idea for you to get it, because let's face it, Zelda games, doesn't matter what they are, they retain their value. I'm not saying they're going to be more expensive, but they retain their value.
But with this one though, this was like, the Twilight Princess bundle, it'll be everywhere. And they're fucking everywhere. These things are not rare.
Oh, absolutely. They're really not. I find them, I went to Walmart today, I found 6 of them.
Exactly.
They're not hard to find.
Yeah, if you want
to think of them, to think of them as a rare commodity, they're really not.
It's a cool commodity. I'll give you that.
Definitely. Yeah, no, that new amiibo is beautiful. It really is. So on the Nintendo news, next rumors. I don't know if you've actually checked out some of these rumors that have come out.
I check out when I hear an X. I'm like, okay, see ya.
Right now, what I'm hearing sounds really good.
What's going on?
So from what I'm hearing right now, developers have been talking about it, saying that this is the easiest system to develop for.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Period. All you do is write your code, and everything basically fixes itself to work on Nintendo. Nice. It's insanely well put to developers to just put their third-party games onto it. And huge news for Nintendo.
Exactly, because how many people complain about this goddamn Wii U and how hard it is to develop for it?
Why don't I have Grand Theft Auto on my Wii U?
And
the reason why is because Nintendo didn't have that idea. They felt Nintendo had to be something completely different.
Build it from the ground up, kind of thing. And you know what? To their credit, when there is that game that's built from the core up for their games, gorgeous, made perfectly for this system. Now, if the NX is one of those consoles where it doesn't need a proprietary gamepad like the Wii U does, you're going to see so many of these these games where they're on PS4, they're on Xbox One. Now they can be on the fucking NX.
Easily. They'll come out simultaneously with everything else, which is going to be huge.
And that's awesome to hear. That is awesome.
They're also saying that the power of the NX is going to be matched to an Xbox One.
I even heard a little bit powerful. A little bit more powerful.
Okay, I was hearing the same, practically the same as Xbox One, which is fine because if you think about it, Xbox One versus PS4, there is a difference, but who cares? It's. I mean, there are people out there that are like, just that small little bit makes a huge difference. I get that. So people out there don't hate. I understand there are people
that
are.
Fucking hate.
I understand you. I understand where you're coming from. But at this point, when you're going from a Wii U to basically an Xbox One power, that's a good step into the right direction.
But you know what, though? There's also those people who, and again, maybe, actually, it's funny, Aaron's not here for this, because maybe he would fully agree that, yes, it needs to look the best it possibly can.
Yeah, he probably would.
Where I'm like, you know what? As long as my thing is, does it play the way I want it to?
Yeah, that's the big thing for Nintendo.
So if it looks a little less prettier than the Xbox One version, it looks less prettier than the PS4, that's fine. I can still play, like I said, a Grand Theft Auto 5 or something on it, and it plays the way it should.
Which brings me on to my next point of the NX rumors, is I can't remember the name of the controller that they do, but it gives a resistance on the joystick.
Oh, the haptic.
A haptic, there we go. So basically, if you run into a wall with your character, there's going to be resistance on your joystick, which I think is really going to be a game changer for consoles specifically, because there is already gamepads out there that do this.
Well, the Xbox One, I think Elite controller does it the best, but I think even the regular Xbox One
my Xbox One controller doesn't do it.
Well, it depends on the game you're playing, though.
Okay, I haven't come
across it. Because the thing,
yet.
I feel like when I was playing Call of Duty, I was feeling the difference more between the guns I was shooting.
Okay.
So I feel like, it's going to depend on the game you're playing. And
Maybe.
whether or not the developer wants to add that feature to the programming of it.
Because I haven't really experienced it with my Elite controller, because I have an Elite controller,
but again,
which, by the way,
you don't play a lot of shooters.
$160 worth every penny.
Yeah, no,
for the small amount that I play with it.
I was going to say, and you don't really play Xbox One. That's
still worth every penny of it. It's honestly the best controller I've ever played with, and I don't like Xbox controllers. I think they're fucking horrible.
You've mentioned that since like 360.
Yeah, I hate them. They're garbage.
See,
but
so when
this
I see
one
this,
is just really well done. It's good.
Well, when I see this, I'm like, oh, PlayStation 4. I can't wait for their Elite version.
I can't wait for them. Yep. And hopefully they do. Maybe they see that, hey, this Xbox One Elite is fucking selling well.
Exactly.
Maybe we should do our own. And that's what I'm waiting for. And the day it happens, I will be buying that one.
And I think I can kind of cross this into our next topic. Or do you have anything else you want to say about this?
For the next, the last thing I'm going to bring up is it now has a wireless HDMI.
Oh, really?
So it is going to be wirelessly connected to your TV.
Cool.
With the HDMI. So I don't know how this is supposed to work, because if it's going to be like a on-the-go gamepad that can be used as an actual like portable device, that's great. So what I think they need to do is they have to have a system in which you put your stuff in, physical, because I don't think they would get rid of physical yet. I know that people are speculating, but there's no way. It would piss off too many game companies.
But you know what? This is the way, I'm just, again, all our theories, because we don't know what the hell this thing even looks like. So this is the way, when you're describing that, this is what I picture. A base, like you said, that's connected to the HDMI, do your port normally the way it is. Then when you come home with your console, you put it on the base, then it's wirelessly connecting the HDMI
to that thing. And I think that's what's exactly going to happen.
And you know what? Nintendo's been awesome with supporting so many controllers from their previous generations that I feel like as long as you have this, you have a Wii U gamepad? Works just fine on it. Wii U Pro controller.
Well, that's one thing they've always been good. Backwards compatibility for the generation before has always been there. 3DS games play DS games. New 3DS will play old 3DS.
And
DS would play fucking Advanced, and Advanced used to play Game Boy Color and Game Boy, so on and so forth.
They've done this super well with their handhelds, but not so much the consoles.
Consoles, I don't think are any more different.
No.
Wii
they
U
kind of
does
started Wii. They started it at the Wii, though.
I was just going to say, Wii U does Wii. We did GameCube.
And that's where it started.
Yeah. But before that, they didn't. That was the beginning of their disc-based system.
What is it? The Game Boy Color played Game Boy games. The Game Boy Advance played Game Boy Color and Game Boy. So again, this is something they know how to do very well.
They're really good at doing backwards compatibility. So that's the last thing I have to say about the next rumors. There are other stuff, but I don't want to
leading into the next story, which literally came out a couple hours ago. We're recording on Monday, March 14th. So, Xbox One has just announced cross-network play, which is something tons of gamers have wanted for fucking years.
Yeah, everybody screams for this.
Exactly. And now what this basically means is Xbox One players, you can play against a PS4 player. in the same absolute game.
Now, they haven't
match.
directly said that's what it's going to be because they technically can't yet.
They can't, but they have said it'll be cross-network play to other consoles. Now,
what other consoles could there be?
Exactly, PS4. So they've already kind of announced that
maybe they meant Coleco.
Oh, of course.
Cross-play with Coleco.
That whole thing. Yeah, that old backdoor deal and shit. But anyway, so like Rocket League right now is cross-network play. A lot of people
I think it's just cross-network between...
Xbox One and Windows 10.
Which isn't that big of a deal, in my opinion, because Xbox One is compatible with Windows 10. Is how it works.
But from this conversation and the articles I was reading earlier today, it's pretty obvious that the developers have this choice, not the console developers.
Which is going to be a big thing, because I know a lot of developers would be like, hey, go buy it for this or this. It doesn't matter. You'll be able to play against each other. Your friend has an Xbox One, you have a PS4.
You can still
It's fine. Go ahead. You'll be able to play against each other.
And
however it's going to work. I don't see how this is going to work. Like, to me, it seems baffling. The thought of that, because I've always lived in a world where, PS plays with PS and Xbox plays with Xbox. Every once in a while, you'll have a crossover between Windows and your PS or Windows and your fucking Xbox. For instance, I played, we were just talking about this earlier, I played Final Fantasy 14 with my friend where he was on PC and I was on PS4.
Exactly.
Which is something that it has been toyed with in the past, but it was still on a Windows console or a Windows server. And that is Microsoft, that I was playing with PS4. So it's not that unrealistic to think that it could go over to the Xbox One.
And it's also the fact that it was never officially stated, because this is a Microsoft statement. This is like, this is going to be a thing now. So it's never been officially said from the creator of the console that, hey, this can be a thing now.
This is super beneficial to Microsoft as well.
Because here's the thing. I think maybe they're getting to the point where they realize, hey, guys, you know what? All these gamers that buy consoles... Guess what? They own all 3 of your consoles.
Yeah, the real gamers usually do.
So for them to be like, oh yeah, just put on PS4, we'll promote PS4. Like, no, they promote anything.
Yeah, wherever it goes.
Yep. And now I want to almost be like, you know what? You can even have like fanboy matches, or it's like the Xbox One guys versus the PS4 guys team deathmatch.
Like, let's see what happens in this Call of Duty.
Let's see who complains the most about the glitches and shit.
Yeah. lag.
It's the PS4's fault. Goddamn it. Yeah. It's like,
you never know. The shit might happen.
It might. But to me, super cool. I can't wait for shit like that.
So we got 2 other little video game talks here. One very small. I'm just going to mention it real quick just so that we have it on our little news cast that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Smallest thing, unfortunately, Aaron isn't here to put his words towards this, because this is something I'm sure he would be happy to talk about. And if you're listening right now, put a big comment on there, Aaron. Dark Souls 3 that is coming out in April, I think April 4th or something like that. Doesn't matter. This is the PC port of this game, which notoriously has had bugs every time that gets released. This time...
Well, maybe these PC gamers should switch to consoles then, huh? Just saying.
Apparently the PC port is going to be locked on 60 FPS. Now, why is this a big deal? Because we as console gamers are getting it on 30 FPS. The big deal is that PC people tend to be really like stiffler on the fact that they want to do 120. Or whatever they're capable to do on their particular PC.
If you're a guy who's willing to go spend a couple $1,000s on your rig,
you should be able to.
Be able to. I personally don't want to bother with that shit. That's why I don't go PC. But yeah, you know what? You should be able to have that.
No, from the developer side of things, they got to think as an art form. Yeah, as an art form. This is my art project. I want people to see my art project the way I envisioned it to be.
Exactly.
So they don't want that changed. So we got the 2 different sides of things. We got the PC gamer being like, I get what you do, and
they don't even get that. No, they don't even get that.
But I want what I can do with my console or my computer. You know, I've paid all this money. I can get it to this. Why can't I do this with yours? You've locked it. Whereas these people on the other side, the developer side of things, are saying, hey, you know, I know this is what you're used to. This is what you like. You like being able to do this thing. But that's not the way we envisioned it. That's not the way that it's going to play properly. It's going to give you a tactical advantage over any other online stuff that you have to deal with. If you have 120 and this person has 60, well, guess what? Who's got a little bit of a tactical advantage on any PvP that happens in the game? So I get where they're coming from on both sides. I really do. I really wish Aaron was here to throw a little bit more into this on the PC side of things, because we don't have the argument side of
I was going to say, because both of us are in the argument. It's like, whatever, guys.
It's just, you know, I'm doing it in 30, so deal with it.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about it, too, because I'm a huge Dark Souls fan. I like the 30 FPS on it. It works fine for me. It looks nice.
And you know what?
Bloodborne was beautiful.
And I think it's this thing where PC gamers have to realize, guys, you love your PCs, you're willing to throw thousands of dollars at it, but you have to understand this thing where you guys have so many different configurations of your hardware based on what you are able to afford. For them to make it open source to everyone is not going to work. Yes, the people with the higher NPCs are going to be super happy, but the people with the lower NPCs who can't do anything because it wasn't locked at 60 frames per second will be fucking pissed. And you know what? It's going to be another Batman Arkham Knight situation where it's like you're going to have so many of these high NPCs, but because they don't have the right card, fucked it all up.
The very specific card that only works for this. So we'll see what happens with it. You know, we're only about a little bit under a month, I think, for it to come out. Holy shit. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna disappear for like 3 months. I'm just warning you. I'm gonna be playing this game a lot. I'll still do the podcast.
And you got a fucking wedding around that time.
Yeah, I got a wedding coming up.
So it's like, okay, wedding, Dark Souls 3.
Yeah,
wedding,
we'll make some time during the wedding to do one podcast just in between. So
yeah, it might be that.
I think that'd probably be a good idea. Yeah. So yeah, okay. There's that. The next thing that's just a small.
Are we out of video games yet?
No, we got one last thing.
One last video game. Okay.
PS TV no longer being supported in Japan.
Okay.
How do you feel about this? Because this has only been a year and a half, 2 years of PS TV.
I have one fucking thing to say about this, and it's what I always say about Sony's goddamn handhelds. They rush them to compete with products that they are not in the market in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like they released the Vita to compete with the 3DS, which they were not in the handheld. They had the PSP, let's face it. But even with the PSP doing so well, they felt it was a failure.
Yeah, for whatever reason. I never understood
because at some point the Nintendo DS took over sales.
Yeah, well, regardless, the PSP has great fucking games for it.
And there was all the time.
I'm trying to find where I put my games, but they're fucking awesome.
And the DS games were cheaper for the longest time. Because I think there was a point where it was, like $10, $15 cheaper for a DS game versus a PSP game.
Yeah, but if you go to it now, the 3DS games are the same price as PSP games and PS Vita games. There's no difference in price anymore.
Because they broke their market. They really did.
The fact with PS TV, though, it's basically like your PS3 sitting next to your TV without having anything to it. It's just a box that you can now do the PS Now and stuff. I think.
And they released it here, too.
It got released here. I think it's still being supported out here right now. But in Japan is where they've cut it out.
I guess one thing we should mention with any type of these discussions, it's always common for the first-party developer to stop supporting something. Now, this doesn't mean that third-party developers can't still take over. They can still work on shit. They can still support it, release games, release patches for shit. They can.
Yeah.
But it's pretty clear PlayStation is like, or Sony, I mean, is like, this whole PlayStation TV...
It wasn't the money that we expected it to be.
They rushed it to market. Again, they're competing with something that there was no competition for.
Yeah, it really, truly was. There's no reason to get to that point. Like, I understood it was like, hey, here's a cheap alternative for you to play games.
Yeah.
You get to play all the same games. You have to stream them, but whatever. Or not stream them, whatever it is. Download it to your console and however it worked. I never got one because I have a PS3. I didn't need to. There was no purpose for me to get it.
And I have a Vita, so like I kind of get how some of that Vita shit works on it. And it's like, it's a good console, but it's like your guys are doing things you don't need to do. These touch buttons don't fucking work. Yeah.
Especially with the way that the Vita corresponds with the PS4. If you have the PS4, they could have easily done something to make it where it's the exact same thing just on your PS4.
Yeah, and some
for the Vita games,
some developers try. But I mean, in general, though, the PS TV, I think we were all like, "What the hell is this thing?" when it came out, and we're still like, "What the hell is this thing?" Yeah, absolutely. It didn't need to happen.
Very final thing I'm just going to mention here. It's not a big deal or anything like that. It's just something.
Yep.
AVGN, the Angry Video Game Nerd, has recently just hit 2 million subscribers on YouTube.
And at first, I was like, big deal. And this is a very big important why you brought it up. So.
I'm bringing this up because you have people that have been doing this for 10 years, like AVGN, and has pumped out, I think he's on 100 and some odd videos, 150 maybe?
150 million?
No, 150 videos that he's pumped out on his channel.
Over 100 million
very
views.
Specifically done on just the Angry Video Game Nerd alone, 150. So very specifically done just on the Angry Video Game Nerd is 150.
Yeah.
He's just hit 2 million subscribers. And we have people like Markiplier and PewDiePie that have gotten like 10 million to 30 million subscribers, and they fucking do nothing. There's nothing that they do that is original or even for that matter, in my opinion, entertaining.
And you know what? I guess we should preface this with saying neither of us are fans of these guys.
I'm subscribed to Markiplier. I don't mind Markiplier. He's all right.
You know, I like him as a person more so than watching his show.
Yeah,
on
I've seen some of his stuff.
He's a smart guy. He's a cool guy.
He's a cool guy. But I mean, I watched all of his FNAF stuff that he did, like the Five Nights at Freddy's. That's the stuff I enjoyed by him. But that's still, I don't think that justifies somebody that has zero production value versus AVGN that has done so much and cares so much about what he does and have this like huge like $8 million gap or 8 million subscriber gap between the two. That's insane.
To me, it's almost like these, like PewDiePie, especially these two, because they're kind of the same thing. They play a video.
Do the exact same thing. Yeah. Just two
they play a video game, they overreact to it, and that's what people like. To me, it's almost like YouTube's version of America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yeah, actually,
it's literally just fucking bullshit that you laugh at and you don't think about, and people just watch it mindlessly. And you know what? If you're one of these people that like that, that's absolutely fine. We're not saying anything wrong about you. It's just the fact that for us, it's
hard for us to understand.
Someone who creates original content just got to 2 million, and these assholes who do nothing I've been at like 10 million plus for years.
Yeah, and like making more than.
Yeah, they probably do make more than James. They probably do. Which is just sad.
Most people in general. They're on a lot of these. PewDiePie's records are in the millions. The amount of money that he's making versus Markiplier is probably more in like the 6-figure mark.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't hate on it because I'm like, hey, your fans want to support you by watching.
Good for you.
Good for you guys. Keep doing it. Don't change what you're doing if that's what your fans want.
Yeah, I mean, guys, if you want to put us up at 10 million views, 10 million subscribers, I'm not going to say no, but I am saying that I just don't understand. How somebody, like, how the difference is in there. Like, somebody who does original content versus somebody who just plays a video game and yells at it.
You know what, though? It could be...
I like Let's Plays. Yeah. I just think that they're different because they poke fun and yell at things.
It is, but you know, I feel like it's that mindless thing I mentioned where it's like, you can put a PewDiePie video, a Markiplier video, and someone will watch and be like, oh, ha, they're overreacting to this stupid shit.
I might be alienating ourselves, but I think PewDiePie's an asshat.
No, I think... No.
I hate him.
I hate PewDiePie.
He annoys the shit out of me.
I hate PewDiePie. But again, when I see an interview of whoever what his real name is, I'm like, whatever. He's just a dude.
As a person, yeah, he's
just a dude.
It's definitely different as a person.
If any of us could have like made millions of dollars doing that, fuck, we would have.
Yeah, I know.
We absolutely would have.
I can't deny that. I probably would.
No, just stay home and play video games and overreact to it. Of course.
Yeah, there's my income, right?
Yeah.
So again, no hate on any of them. I'm not a fan of PewDiePie.
We're just shocked that James finally got to that.
It took this point to get James to.
Because I'm almost like, wasn't he already at 2 million?
Yeah, and it took them not only doing the 150 videos, but now they have to do like 3 other videos a week is what they're doing now.
It's funny though, dude. They're starting to do Let's Plays now.
Yeah, the James and Mike plays.
Really, Let's Plays are fucking YouTube right now. For some reason, Let's Plays hit a nerve with people, and people just are obsessed with it.
I'm loving it. Like, don't get me wrong, I like watching the Game Grumps.
I kind of can barely watch a lot of Let's Plays. I really can barely watch any of them.
I like watching Game Grumps, but the reason why I like watching the Game Grumps is because I'm watching them for their comedy, like they're the two of them interacting with each other, more so than I'm watching the video game. Just the video game's the
because they
background.
Usually suck. They're usually not even like properly playing the game. Like, they're being idiots on camera.
Absolutely. Yeah, very rarely are they playing well. But that's what I enjoy. Like I like that they're just fucking around with each other. The game's just subsequently in the background. So there is I do see like kind of where they come from on some of the stuff, but at the same time I just don't get it. It's confusing to me, like I love watching Pat the NES Punk's videos when he's doing his actual videos. Those are great. Watching Angry Video Game Nerd, although I haven't really liked his videos a lot lately, he's still really good.
But when he does a good
original
video, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, finally, we hit that point. Like it's gotten to that point. So.
And I mean, but that's the same to be said with any creator. Anyone's creating anything, you're always going to have a stagnant period where you're just churning shit out.
Not that I think you're actually listening, James, but my point of this is congratulations on hitting 2 million.
Absolutely,
you absolutely deserved it.
You deserved it so many years ago.
Yeah, so good for you. Mm-hmm. Keep up the great work. I love watching your videos.
Okay, so Game Corner's over.
The game is done. Yay. So
video games.
On to the nerd stuff. We've got a lot of nerd stuff on here. Well, a fair amount anyway. first thing I want to bring up, because I was the one that suggested you watch it.
The Ghostbusters
trailer. Oh my God, people are losing their shit over this. First, I want to put my perspective on this, just so people hear it.
Actually, before you do, I want to comment on the outrage. Because you know what? I feel like the outrage was worse before. Now I feel like it's about 50-50. I feel like it kind of divided a little bit.
Maybe. I think that a lot of people got outraged for the reasons I didn't expect them to.
Yes, very much so. Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah. So let's hear your take on it first.
Here's my take. I watched it the day it came out. I actually watched it within the hour that it came out because I'm genuinely interested to see what was going to happen with this. So for all of you that don't know, it is a Ghostbusters set in the same universe as they're saying 30 years later.
Oh,
that's where it starts. That's my biggest gripe on everything.
It's a reboot. Let's face it.
I know.
Yeah.
It's the only gripe that I really have is that they could have set this as a new universe. Like it's like a different dimension or different universe where the Ghostbusters didn't exist. This is the new version that we're.
So you wanted a literal reboot,
kind of, if they're going to do it the way that they were doing it, but they didn't. They went 30 years later. Like 30 years have passed, and there's a need for this now. So it's 4 female Ghostbusters,
which everyone knew.
We all knew that. We knew it was coming from a long time ago. The storyline seems
Melissa
pretty...
McCarthy, black chick from SNL. And
she's the only one that I'm interested in checking out in this whole thing. But some of the backlash is coming from which is okay. No, I'm not finished talking about what I think.
Okay.
I think right now what I'm seeing is I was expecting to be very disappointed, and I don't think I'm going to be nearly as much.
No, not
I think it looks actually pretty good. I think the comedy in it isn't as ridiculous as I expected it to be. I really expected campy comedy, and it's not in there.
It's almost like the original Ghostbusters. Like it's a subtle joke that maybe not everyone got.
Yeah, that it's not going to be there. Then they have the one person that just lands the jokes. You know, like what's her name from SNL? The one that does the slapping thing in there. Which where she's exercising the pain demons, which was pretty funny. I got a good laugh out of that. But that's my point, though, is I think that they're going to be able to pull this off. Am I going to see it in the theaters? No, I'm probably not going to go see it in the theaters. I'm going to wait till it comes out.
Yep.
But am I interested in it? Yeah,
much more so than 4. Okay, so we're kind of on the same page on this one.
Yeah.
When we both saw the first announcements and even images, I think both of us were like, "Fuck this movie." It's gonna be shit.
Originally, that was definitely on that page.
And now that I saw the trailer too, I'm actually on the same boat. I'm like, this doesn't look terrible. It looks like it's going to be an entertaining movie. To their credit, using female stars for this movie, had it been an all-male cast, I would have compared them to fucking Dan Aykroyd, fucking Bill Murray.
I'm still doing that with them as being women.
I might not do that as much.
For me, Winston and whatever faces the black woman. I wish I remembered her name right now. Our computer's off. Yeah. It's lost its battery, so I can't check it out. Sorry, folks. Her characters are literally the exact same ones. Like the black.
Kind of sassy, kind of dude.
Sassy, not scientist.
Has attitude,
lives in fucking New York, knows New York, and I'm just here because I want to be sass. I need a job. Yeah. And it shows.
And you know what? To be fair, though, okay, if you're going to kind of compare, a black kind of stereotype versus a female black stereotype, to me, I would kind of expect the black dude to be more reserved the way Ernie Hudson was in the original.
Yeah, Ernie Hudson.
And then you expect the woman, to be a little over the top and just sassy.
But to me, the world or everybody seems to be reacting like, oh, that's so blatant racism, and I'm like, did you watch the original? Take the original, I've heard this complaint quite a bit. If you were to take the 1980s Ghostbusters and release them today, like as if they never got released back then, you would get the same fucking comments because that's just this characters and what they did back then.
But that's just social justice warriors. I mean, that's a whole topic of conversation on itself.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I feel like this movie, to me, it looks better than what I expected. To me, it's going to be an entertaining movie, which, you know what? That's all I want sometimes. I don't need this movie to fucking reinvent Ghostbusters and reinvigorate my love.
Just give me another fucking Ghostbusters story.
And make it entertaining.
Yeah.
And one comparison I really heard where, it looks a lot more colorful than the original movies.
Well, yeah, that's because it's got a lot more CG.
And it's going to have 3D in it. But here's the thing that kind of it didn't even occur to me when I was watching the trailer. And someone made this comparison. I'm like, yes, that's what it really reminds me of. It is the fact that it kind of reminds me a little more of the cartoon Real Ghostbusters.
Actually, yeah.
It's a lot more cartoony than what you'd expect from the original movie.
I never thought of that, actually. Yeah. That makes a lot more sense doing it. And now, thinking of it in that form.
If you look at it now, that it's so bright, it's so colorful because it reminds me of the cartoon.
Absolutely.
I kind of like that a little bit.
That thought does do a little bit more
A
justice.
little bit justice to it, right?
I agree. I never thought of it like that, and thinking of it like that does make a huge difference.
It helps with the color in your head.
Like, oh, wait a minute, yeah. It does make a little bit more sense.
I do have a bit of an issue with, I call it Avengerizing. They kind of Avengerize the cast a little bit, though, where they're like, you're the science expert, you're this, where they didn't do that in the original.
No, but they were those people, though.
They were, but they didn't feel the need to tell you we're this people.
Yeah, no, literally they do. That was one of my biggest gripes on the whole thing. It wasn't a big one, but my biggest gripe was, when they introduced the sassy black actress doing this, it wasn't just like, hey, I would like to join your team. Yeah. It was, I know New York. I know everything around this city. Exactly. I should join your team. It was that. It's like, you don't have to explain your character to me. I understand it already. Yeah. I've seen the originals. I get that there's people that haven't, but if you do it right, you don't have to explain your character.
But to me, that's not the Ghostbusters fault. That's Hollywood's fault. Yeah, Hollywood does that in every. They feel you're so stupid that you don't understand what you're watching.
Absolutely.
To explain it to you. So it's like, you know what? Whatever. So I think we're both in agreement. This new Ghostbusters movie does not look fucking terrible.
No, it does. No. To me, it definitely doesn't. Not at all.
No. So I'll see it. I'll definitely see it.
I'm going to see it too. I think I'm going to wait till after the theaters, but I'm going to go see it.
If I hear good reviews from the theater, maybe. Because I'm a lot more interested in a lot more 3D movies now. Because they're doing it better.
Yeah, 3D movies are
to see that movie in 3D with like ghosts and shit coming at you
would be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
Having slime flying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or like old theaters where they had like shit in the seats or like would spray shit at you.
That'd be fucking cool.
That would be
I miss
awesome.
that type of stuff.
Yep.
Those gimmicks are no longer around. Next in trailer news, Civil War trailer 2 has come out.
Now, you've read the Civil War storyline.
Oh, I know, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, again, we're going to have to take this perspective from someone who's really read those comics and someone who didn't. For me, I'm still under this impression where, like, they're still showing so many goddamn trailers for this fucking movie.
Well, they've only done 2, technically.
They've done 3.
This is technically trailer 2.
Oh, technically
trailer 2. They've done variations.
They've done so... I swear this is trailer 4. I swear it is.
They've done...
Teaser, trailer, whatever.
They've done technically, they've done trailers. There's teasers,
teasers are
spots
fucking
and
trailers. Teasers are fucking trailers.
They're smaller, but okay. Well, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Okay, they've done more than 2, but this is number 2.
Yeah.
Is what this one is.
And they're really showing a lot more of the action. They're showing you more Black Panther in this one.
Yeah, they actually put a lot of Black Panther in this. I was kind of surprised. I thought
Black Panther.
Yeah, I'm really, really interested in what they do with him because Black Panther, I've always been a big fan of him. Now, I'm curious what they do with his character because from what I'm hearing, they're not doing his origin, like where he's from. No. They're not even visiting their Wakanda or whatever it is.
Which is fine because let's put it this way: the non-comic book fans, regardless of whether you explain what Wakanda is and that whole,
I'm okay with that.
War,
like I'm alright with that because it sounds like what they've done or what it looks like they've done with this character, and this is just judging by the trailer.
A couple seconds.
That they're making him a dictator from that country, a political figure from the country in some way, shape, or form, and he's in wherever this place gets attacked. Yeah. Which they're going to blame on Bucky. That's what it looks like.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they were kind of talking about that.
Because you see him in a suit in this area while it's being attacked. Mm-hmm. That's him. He's fucking Black Panther. So what brought him there? Because there would be no reason. He was originally part of a tribe, that was pretty much shut off from civilization.
Yeah, he was the prince of their tribe and just being a physical fucking specimen.
So what brought him there? That's my question. Is like, what did they do with his story to bring him there?
That's fine. You know what? Honestly, I'm at the point where I'm like, just get the main points down.
Yeah, it
looks like they're doing that. It looks like they're doing that.
I've fully accepted the difference between comic books and the Marvel Universe because each one is going to be different. I understand that they write things differently.
Some fans don't though, dude. Holy shit!
I know they really don't. I know they don't.
Yeah.
If you really want to nitpick, go between Sony and Marvel and see the differences, right? Like they didn't fucking correspond with each other at all. So Black Panther being in there, I'm really excited for. I'm a big Black Panther fan. I always have been. He's great. Ant-Man's coming back into this one. Yep. They show him a little bit in this, which is nice. They don't show Paul Rudd's face, but they show Ant-Man.
Yeah, which is
so I'm fine with that.
If Paul Rudd was a smart dude, be like, oh, I'll take a pay cut. I'll absolutely be your Ant-Man from now on.
Yeah, well, he is the Ant-Man. Period.
Exactly.
He signed on for everything Ant-Man.
Good.
So Ant-Man being in there is great. That actually in the trailer you see him on one of the arrows.
Yeah. Like Hawkeye's arrows.
One of Hawkeye's arrows, which is actually an homage to a comic book. That is something that happened in a cover of a comic book where he's on Hawkeye's arrow and he's flying towards where that's an homage to a comic. So that's really cool to see that and have that kind of happening. In the comic book, the Iron Man was the villain. And they did
technically, yeah.
No, not even technically. He was the villain.
Oh, really?
In that,
Okay.
he like if you put it in any other sense, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
He was.
He has to be the bad guy.
He is the bad guy of that story arc.
Okay.
Yeah, he is the person that's trying to put this forward. In this one, he is too. But I think they are trying to portray him in a light that he will not
in a more
continue
neutral
to
sense.
be. Yeah,
in a more
neutral.
Sense. Yeah.
I also feel like they are taking the Winter Soldier story and they're going to have him actually be the bad guy in this. Just from what I'm seeing in the trailer, it looks as though that's what they're trying to go with it. Like, okay, Bucky's actually going to be the bad guy in all this, like behind the scenes, away from Captain America.
And let's put
like
this
him
way.
trying to shoot Iron Man in the face. You know, like did you see that scene where he's holding the gun and the face that he gives afterwards? Like, oh, you tried to shoot me.
Yeah.
That right there is telling me like, oh, wait a minute, they're going to portray Iron Man as having this information that Captain America doesn't have. And Captain America refuses to go against his buddy because he doesn't have this information. I that's what I see happening, which isn't true to the comics.
See, and at this point, this is where I think the comic book fans need to realize, hey guys, I know the standalone movie doesn't coincide with that story arc you used to.
Oh, if they were going to do the storyline for that, it would take forever.
Exactly, but it's pretty clear now between Winter Soldier and Civil War, they meant to tie all that shit together.
They meshed it together, and I think they meshed it well. Mm-hmm. So that aspect is really cool. The fact that Vision's in there, we got the Scarlet Witch, we got where are some of the other ones that I'm
Falcon's in it,
and then War Machine.
Well, because it feels like they're
going
to do a West Coast Avengers kind of thing, right? Where it's like Hawkeye's the leader, fucking Black Panther's there, goddamn.
I think it's really it always comes between Captain America and
wasn't Hawkeye the Avengers, West Coast Avengers leader at some point? I swear he was.
I don't know if he was the West Coast leader.
I swear he was.
I don't think he was the leader. I think it was Captain America at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I can't remember. The West Coast one.
It wasn't that.
It was a bunch of villains though.
It was
in the West Coast one.
Yeah.
It was weird. A little fact: Captain America wasn't originally in the Avengers.
No, well, of course not. He was not even a Marvel comic, right?
Yeah, no, but he came in at like the third.
He was created by Jack Kirby, the original artwork.
Yeah. He ended up being like in the third comic or something. And I was watching a video the other day where they were talking about like why and stuff, and it was just because he was a leader figure that he got adapted into being the original ones. But it's between those two fighting each other over the registration of mutants. Yeah. This is the story for anybody that doesn't know. This is what it is. Now, one of the biggest
reveals of the year.
Well, reveals of the year /
under reviews.
I laughed at that so good. For those that don't know, Spider-Man is a huge part of the Civil War storyline. So the fact that they were able to convince Sony to allow them to use it for whatever money they decided on was genius. Yep. I said this the second I watched the trailer. I walked up to my buddies and was like, Marvel did more with Spider-Man in 3 fucking seconds of a trailer than Sony did with 12 fucking years of the character.
It's Spider-Man, right?
In 3 seconds and 2 words, they did way better.
Yep.
Those 2 words, the way that it's presented, the way that he says it, it says Spider-Man. He is a teenager. He's going through teenage angst. He doesn't really know why he's there.
Like an Underoos costume because it's a fucking kid in just a spandex outfit.
Yeah.
It's not to do with a high-tech sewing.
And let's face it, what fucking 8-year-old us didn't have a fucking Spider-Man underoos. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just how it goes. Like, they just did so well with that character.
And then the eyes move with him, with his emotions.
Which was a Deadpool thing.
Yes.
That was a Deadpool
It was a comic book thing, too.
Well, yeah.
Where it's like his eyes would, like, you get, like, scared when the Spidey sense is going off.
Yeah.
Like, it would go down a little bit.
And that's actually came from Deadpool's costume. Yeah. They realized, hey, let's start doing this with our costumes. But the like, I cannot explain this enough. Fuck Sony and their stupid fucking Spider-Man movies. You can tell me how many people have told me, oh, the newer ones are nicer. They're pretty good. And I'm like, no, they're fucking garbage.
No, wait a second. I don't mind the first, like the Sony one with Andrew Garfield, right? I haven't seen the second one.
I haven't seen the second one either. But that's also a testament is nobody went to go see the second one. Nobody cared. No. The first one didn't leave that much of an impression on people. Like, people are like, oh, it's good. Yeah, but look at what they're comparing it to. I'm sorry, but those first 3 were fucking shit.
At the time, though, they were perfect movie. At the time, we had not really seen a good.
You know what they were? You know, the only thing I can give them credit for is that we wouldn't have the comic book movies we have now if they didn't come out with it.
If Spider-Man 2,
is it.
Yeah, if Spider-Man 2 wasn't massive, because let's face it, Spider-Man 3 still did really good, but the fans hated it. It still did awesome.
That dancing scene.
Yeah, the dancing scene, the fact that, again,
every aspect
Eric
of it.
From that 70s show.
Yeah,
but anyway,
Topher Grace.
Yeah. So, but you're absolutely right. We would not have comic book movies now if it wasn't for that. And then Iron Man set it over the fucking edge.
That's where wait a minute, people can do this right.
With a character, no, because again, who cared about Iron Man before this?
Other than comic book fans, nobody really.
Not even comic book fans cared.
I liked them.
I did too, but I talked to a lot of comic book fans back in the day before all this happened. They didn't care about Iron Man.
See, I did. I actually liked him.
And I did too.
Yeah, but that's also because I was an Avengers fan.
But I was also reading his individual story. I was like, I was reading a lot of his alcoholism storyline, where it's like, as rich as this guy is, as awesome as this suit is, he's still a fucking human being.
Philanthropist, really.
Yeah, he's still a human being dealing with shit.
Yeah, but for me, I liked him not as his standalone stories. I've never been a fan of Iron Man stories.
They're not the best.
I enjoy him with other people. He's a great other character in a book. And I don't say second character, because usually when he's in a book, he's like just as big as the other person. So Iron Man has been a staple for them, right? I personally think it's been like him doing that movie and doing that stuff really set forth what we've been dealing with in the past couple of years with this superhero movie
just
craze.
Gonna get better. It is absolutely just going to get better.
Again, fuck this Ben Affleck shit. I like the concept of having Ben Affleck as Batman, but other than that, what they needed to do was build him up as a character. But that's not the point. We're going a little off topic here. The point is that the new Civil War trailer looks good. I wasn't exactly jacked for this movie until I saw this second trailer. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, me too.
I'm okay.
I
can't wait to see what they do.
Yeah, me too.
I finally have hit that point. The first couple trailers, I didn't dislike. I was just like, I get Captain America's going to be a little bit more political, and I'm fine with politics in superhero movies. But if it's nothing but I hated the first Captain America movie, not the first, but the first one of what's his face's Captain America, like the new ones. I didn't like it. I thought it was boring. Winter Soldier.
It's a political thriller, though.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's absolutely different tone.
Yeah, it's not the same, and I didn't like the first one, but the second one great. Mm-hmm. So to me, I think this one has finally got me jacked for it, and it's getting me really, really excited for Infinity Wars.
Exactly, because you always
once Infinity Wars comes, I'm gonna fucking lose my shit.
Because you always watch these movies, dude, but you're never super ecstatic about them. Right? You've never been that dude. So it's I can see, you're finally getting yes, this is gonna be the one that finally gets the most right to where it should be. I'm very curious. That's the thing that I'm most curious about is what tie-in are they gonna do with Civil War to make Infinity Wars happen? Because there's gonna be stuff in between. I think the tie-in is going to be that they're going to have to stop being at war with each other to go after Thanos. I think that's the big thing. That's what going to. But it's not going to be in this movie. It's going to be in another movie. But then it's also that even gives me questions where it's who's going to be the main cast of Infinity War or Infinity Gauntlet at this point? Right? It's going to be obviously Cap, obviously Iron Man. I think it's going to be almost everything that except I don't think Hulk will be in it. I don't think Hulk. But if they keep true to the comics, Hulk was gone really early in Avengers 2. He disappeared really early. He was in there for the first couple issues, right? It was to sell some issues. That's what it was originally. But that's not the point. Mm-hmm. The point is the Hulk is what and always was the beginning character, and then he disappeared because he can't control himself. Yeah. If you watch any of the cartoons, Hulk is always losing his shit. The fucking Marvel you need to. Terrible. The Avengers ones are fucking awesome. The first two Avenger movies, I will lend them to you. You will fucking love them. They're really good. The Avengers. That's it. There's a couple. I watched one Avengers show. It's all right, but then not shows. I'm talking the two movies. There's two cartoon movies that came out. Really? Okay. One where it's about 20 minutes of the Avengers, and then it became the Avengers versus Hulk because the Hulk keeps losing it. Nice. You need to see it. I'll lend it to you. I have it on Blu-ray. Remind me before we go. I'll lend it to you so you can. I want your review on the next podcast on it. Okay? We'll do that. It's really, really well done. If you like Marvel Cinematic Universe and the cartoons, you'll probably like this one. It's a really well done one. Cool. I'll check it out. Okay, so that's it for trailers as far as I'm concerned. Movie talk, though, there's still a little bit more. Very recently, Leonardo DiCaprio has finally broke his cherry and got himself his Oscar. And let's face it, it's a pity Oscar. It really is. I don't think it is. I think that he did a great job on this movie from what I'm hearing. Did you see this movie? No, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it from either. Everybody that I know that have seen it said it was amazing.
acting was really well done.
It's funny, I've kind of heard the opposite where they're like, it's a really kind of bad movie, but he's fucking amazing in it because you see this guy who's like getting fucking tortured the whole goddamn movie and you feel bad for him the whole time. But again, Leonardo DiCaprio has been such a good actor for so many movies. We'll discuss a couple of them.
Yeah, we were saying
The Departed,
I don't know how he didn't.
Street.
You know why he didn't get it is because of his co-stars, right? Like he's always the lesser of the co-stars, almost always. Like he's always alongside fucking insanely amazing actors.
They always give him really good
it's not that he's bad, it's just they're putting him next to fucking Joe Pesci and they're putting him next to fucking Robert De Niro and shit. Like what did you expect? You know?
Jack Nicholson.
Fuck yeah. Like this stuff happens where he's alongside these people and his amazing performance gets overshadowed by these other people. Yeah. It happens all the fucking time. Departed was him and
Matt Damon.
Yeah.
And
like,
fucking Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson, right? So
boss,
everything was like it was stacked against him, I'd hate to say it. This is his first, in my opinion,
because he's kind of the main
he's the
main guy in the movie, right? Like the only guy in the movie, kind of
that people recognize. So that was it for me. That's where I was like, okay, yeah, he finally sense, for me. It was like now people can just showcase what he does in one movie. Not that he doesn't have other movies like Titanic. I don't like the movie. I think it's fucking stupid. But I understand why it was well acted and well done. Yeah. So I think he should have probably gotten one for that. Again, I didn't like it because I'm sick of love stories, but it was really well done.
But I you know what, in my head, from like DiCaprio's point of view, he must be like, yes, this is nice. Thank you. But in the back of his mind, he's got to be like,
I should have gotten this a long fucking time ago.
And to me, that almost kind of taints your victory a little bit, right? Because it's like, you're just giving this to me because everyone says you should give this to me.
Yeah, I should have gotten this because I fucking deserved it.
Yeah, he did.
I swear, Departed is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Oh, it's an awesome fucking movie.
Like, it's close to all my top 10 movies of all time. Yeah. I love that movie.
It's up there.
So fucking well done. Yep. And, you know, like, I never really thought of myself as a Leonardo DiCaprio fan until I got to that point. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, actually, I really fucking like what he does.
It's funny, I kind of like Matt Damon in that movie. When he's like, when they finally caught up
to him.
Oh, God, like, you know, like, he's freaking out, they're going to kill him. It's like, dude, like, because, they're going to kill him, right? But it's like, fuck, yeah. Just that kind of like, yeah, we know who you are. Yeah. I don't know. That was a fucking great movie.
I didn't mind Matt Damon, especially in that movie, but I don't mind Matt Damon in general. He gets a lot of shit.
Yeah, he does. He
really, really does. So, congratulations, Leo. We got a couple congratulations on this episode, but good for you. You definitely deserved it. It took a long time. Now you got it, so good for you.
Yep.
Before I get into comic talk and music talk, which is our ending segments, we have one that you would like to bring up.
This is something that
you brought it to my attention. I'm like, I don't think this is newsworthy, but it's pretty fucking funny.
It's hilarious. And you know what? There is something I want to tie into this news.
Yeah. So you take the lead on this. So, I'll put my 2 cents after.
It's this huge trolling thing that this podcast, it's actually a Simpsons podcast. It's called Four Finger Discount, which kind of that whole like 4 finger discount, man. So basically it's just a Simpsons podcast. They just talk about random episodes and just shoot the shit. But it's hilarious what they did. They started taking clips from the episodes, these random like screenshots of like Okay, if anyone remembers this episode from The Simpsons, when Homer got really fat, he's fucking driving the ice cream truck with the moo-moo.
Where he's got the stick that is reaching.
Exactly, and there's always like, and people have been taking like screenshots from this episode, different random ones, and being like, and sending them to news stations, being like, oh, I've got a photo of a guy who's driving erratically on the road. He's crazy. I don't know what's wrong with him. And they'll be like, oh, send us the picture. And then it's just like Homer Simpson driving the fucking truck with the ice cream in his mouth.
It was pretty funny because there was
hilarious.
Some pretty like.
And they started this in Australia, and now this is happening all over the world. So many of their fans are doing this on so many different news stations that now websites are catching on to this shit.
I think it's funny.
It's hilarious, and this is why I want to bring it up. Because of the fact that I'm starting to realize that, holy shit, dude, people just don't even look into facts anymore. They just fucking get all their information from memes, from the goddamn internet. And the reason I want to bring this up, because I was watching a video on YouTube about...
We're before you say it, though, we're in a generation where we read the titles. That's it.
That's all we read. That, to me, it's kind of driving me insane.
Me too.
Because I was watching this thing where this 1%er dude, this guy who's a big CEO for a company, went into like Central Park in New York to talk to all those fucking Occupy Wall Street protesters. And you'd be amazed, dude, how many of these fucking hippie assholes don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Oh, no, I know.
Yep. They would go into this guy with these arguments, being like, did you see the meme that was like, dude, a meme is not fact. A meme is not a point of argument. A meme is not something you go into a debate with as your fucking point of contention.
Yeah, no, though, absolutely.
Yeah.
Debates have gone really downhill over the years. I mean, there's cultures that's the base their everything they do around debates, right? Like, but we as a society right now don't like I said, we're subtitled.
Yep.
People look at the title of a fucking article and they don't read further. Mm-hmm. And right now, titles, which clickbait. Jesus Christ, people,
it's always called clickbait.
Titles are designed to catch your attention and read the article, not catch your attention and take it as truth. Yeah. That's what titles are for.
And that's kind of why I brought up this, because like this is literally what they're doing to these news stations. Oh, we got this information here. Boom. It's just a quick joke. But to me, it's just the fact that like, I look at our fucking culture and I'm like, shit, no, we are doing this with a lot of shit.
Yeah, we are.
It's a lot of just, that's a title. Oh, this is my argument about everything. Yeah, didn't even read the article.
It bleeds into everything we do. Like everything that we're interested in, it happens on all of it.
Yeah, so almost to the point where like the internet's a great thing, but holy shit, it's kind of fucking a lot of people up.
I think so too, but I think it's gonna wean out the good from the bad to a degree too. You know, like there are people out there that aren't like that, and I choose to be around those people a lot more.
Oh, you do. But I mean, but it's also unavoidable.
It is unavoidable. Yeah, I come across these. I work with people, not at my work, but like I have worked with people that are like this. You know, my work actually generally for the most part is pretty good.
Everyone's been pretty good there.
Yeah, they're not too bad at the way that they do. They approach things. They actually research stuff. They're pretty good. Whereas I've had situations that I've worked with people that are like, what the fuck? Like this guy actually believes these things are happening. Yeah. Like. You're kidding, right? Like, and you know that was just Paranormal Activity, the movie, right?
Exactly.
Like, you know, not necessarily that, but that was a situation that came up. They're like, all this stuff. Have you seen this video? It's so fucking real. It's so crazy. And they just showed me a scene from Paranormal Activity that somebody posted.
And this is why this fucking news story amuses the shit out of me, because I'm like, it's all about like just everything at first glance. Mm-hmm. Everything at first glance, you're like, oh yeah, absolutely. And then boom, it's a joke.
It ends up being a joke, yeah.
So, I mean, like, to me, I just find it hilarious. Everyone go check it out. Look up Four Finger Discount on Facebook, because they're posting theirs, they're posting their fans, and it's hilarious. And yeah, again, it's just, to me, I just wanted to point this out, because I look at other internet shit and it fucking enrages me. And then I see shit like this, and like, oh, that's a hilarious way to use it.
Finally, yeah. Like
that's a good way to use that.
Somebody's somewhat poking fun at the aspect of what we get pissed off at, which I tend to respect a little bit more.
A little bit, yeah.
So comic talk. There's not a lot of comic talk this round. I don't have a lot right now.
Most of touched on it with the Civil War trailer.
A little bit, yeah. Like I got subscriptions to comics. They come, I pick them up and I read them and stuff. Like it's just that's what I do. There's nothing really big on the news. You know, Deadpool versus Cable is coming out, or Deadpool Cable comics are coming out because of the Deadpool movie. Mm-hmm. It's getting hyping up his popularity even more so even in the comic, which has been insane for the past 2 years for him. But I've been watching his stuff. He's got another reboot thing going on with another series. I got those ones. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The big comic news for me that I'm mostly excited for is come April. And it's rare that this happens. It does happen. There are these things, but a video game crossover is finally happening in comics again. And for me, I might not like it as much as me. Dark Souls is getting its own comic series.
Nice, dude.
Now, why is this a big news? For those of you that are fans of Dark Souls, like I am, the lore has always been very obtuse. Mm-hmm. They don't tell you much. They tell you very little, and everybody else has kind of just gathered their own information to make canon, like their own stories. Apparently, the Dark Souls comic is going to touch base on a lot of those lore
and tie those strings together, basically.
Just in the lore concept of things. It's not really going to tell you anything about storyline. It's just this lore of this stuff.
What's going on in this world, essentially.
Yeah. So this comes out in April. For those of you that are Dark Souls fans out there, get to your local comic book store, get them on subscription, because I promise you they're going to be in low production value. They're not going to be really high. No. They're going to be worth something someday, just because Dark Souls is such a big series that you're going to want to get your hands on these. And this is the only way you're going to get these stories.
It was a limited run first print. And especially in comics, those first prints go.
First prints are huge.
Go crazy, yeah.
So if you want my suggestions on comic book news, get your butts out there and get those comics. You're going to enjoy them. They're going to be great stories.
Okay. So now with this little topic here, I got a question for you. So if you were to kind of take another video game and turn it into a comic to explain some of the shit going on, what's
Castlevania?
Castlevania? Okay. See, going back to PT, I think I'd do a PT comic.
That'd be kind of cool, too.
Just explain what happened between that wife and then, they kind of explain it, right? But just kind of like see it kind of take place in front of you, that would be cool.
I think that would be really cool, too. For me, Castlevania, just because there's such a, like, gap in all the stories with everybody. It's good, and they tend to stay pretty true.
Well, it starts with Simon, then it goes to Trevor Belmont, Richter, and like all those guys.
Yeah, and then you get into Alucard, and there's a lot that can be talked about in the series. And I would want to see a comic book series based on Castlevania, but I want to go from Symphony on.
I was going to say, no, even start the first one. Go from Castlevania to Simon's Quest, explaining the whole curse thing.
That's possible, yeah.
And then you could do actually go in order. Actually, you could go in order.
You could go in order pretty easily.
Well, except for Super Castlevania, because that's kind of a remake of the first, right?
Yeah.
Kind of.
The only really fucking issue with that is Konami is just a bunch of ass clowns, and there's no way that they'd ever fucking do it.
If anything, they'll take this idea and turn it into like a VLT.
Yeah, it'd just be a Pinko machine or whatever. But that would be a comic that I would like to see brought in from video games.
That'd be a cool one. That would do really well.
I think Castlevania would be like a great storyline, because we already have Mega Man ones, we already have Sonic ones, we already have Mario ones. None of them
Zelda.
Actually, a Mario comic that you may not have ever heard of. This one's like for your knowledge.
Is the Valiant one?
Huh?
The Valiant ones?
And I'm talking about the Mario comic that was in Germany. Okay, all right. So this is the last little bit of comic talk that we're gonna have. There is a Mario comic that came out in Germany. There's only 2 of them, and they were in Nintendo Power. So these are official.
Yeah.
They're in Nintendo Power, but they're exclusive to Germany. You can find them on the net. You're gonna have to look them up because it's the only way you can get the translated versions of them. But what happens is it's Mario and Luigi living in an apartment building, where Kirby and Zelda also live in this apartment building, and it gets invaded by Jason, Freddy, Chucky, Hellraiser.
Dude, what?
All these fucking things. They trust me. I'll show you pictures of them after this.
Kidding. This is fucked up.
They get invaded by those. A whole bunch of weird shit happens. I can't really get too deep into it because I haven't read the whole thing. I've only read about a quarter of it and then read the ending of it because I couldn't find it all. Mario ends up eating this thing that turns him into a demon. So does Luigi and Zelda and Kirby. So they're all demons fighting. Yeah. Actually, Kirby looks a lot like it's like a precursor to Meta Knight. It's really weird. Yeah. But looks a lot like Meta Knight in that little fucking picture. Princess Peach becomes a zombie. And they fight Chucky, and they fight cool, they go through all these fucking things. It's really fucking cool. But what happened is it came out in Nintendo Power, whatever issue. It was an early issue. It was the first part of the story, and then a year later they finished the story off. The second part. Okay. So it took over a year for them to finish off.
And this just goes to show the difference between. And this is what people don't realize about Nintendo. Everyone's assume, they're Nintendo everywhere, right? No. Nintendo Japan has absolute say over everything Nintendo of America does, Nintendo of Europe, Nintendo of Canada does.
They're protective over there.
Exactly. So the fact that they're like, Nintendo of Europe, you can have this little comic thing here. You can allow them to put that through. Why can't we get shit like that?
Because they make judgments on cultures. Germany can handle this more than American
apparently.
But look it up. Try and find this thing. German Mario comic and see if you can find it. You'll at least get the pictures if it's not. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about because there's pictures and they're very clearly Jason. They're very clearly Freddy, and it's very clearly like Hellraiser. And Leatherface is in there too. Yeah. Like wearing another person's face. Think about it like that. Mario with a comic with somebody wearing somebody else's face. But anyway, that's my last little bit of comic book news. That's earlier stuff. So if you get a chance, look that up. It's really interesting. And again, Dark Souls next month. Check it out. You're not going to want to miss this.
Mario the 13th?
Is that what it's called?
I think. Someone's kind of referencing it as Mario 13th.
I don't know if that's actually what it might be actually called that. Did you see the pictures? Is it on there? Yeah, it's really cool. So go check it out. You can find it. Maxx just found it on his phone. Yeah. So very, very interesting. Last and final little bit of stuff here, as I do on every single podcast. Unfortunately, I missed it last week because we had a little technical issues.
Yeah, a little bit.
Music talk. Not a huge amount of talk here. I got a couple bands.
Lately.
No, I've been listening to a lot actually. I bought a couple records. There's one band that you should check out. It's called The War on Drugs. Really good fucking band. Solid band. Not the one that I'm trying to feature on this one. The one that I'm trying to feature on this one is called Wild Nothing. I can't remember his exact name, but he's a music producer. He knows a lot about the ins and outs of the music industry and exactly how things work and like the science behind music. He has 3 albums, I think, out. This is his 3rd one that I just picked up. It just recently came out. It's great music, very melodic. I'm going to put a link in the description for people to check it out. amazing. You need to check this band out. Everything about them is wonderful.
Like what kind of genre?
Indie pop / alternative. It's the best I can give you.
Nice.
It's almost a genre on its own, the way that it sounds.
See, I like bands like that, where it's like you can't fit them in anywhere.
When we're done this, I'll put it on so you can hear it real quick. It's fucking awesome. It's a really good band. Check it out. The name of the band is Wild Nothing. This is their third, so this is their sophomore album. It's definitely worth checking out, and I guarantee you'll enjoy it. It's really well done. So take a look in the descriptions for that. Well, Max,
that's the end of our show today.
I think that's our podcast. We scratched off this tower of a list of stuff that we wanted to talk about.
Didn't take that long, actually.
No, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Out well.
Yeah, not bad at all. I think we're just sitting on we're sitting on an hour and a half, so that's actually not bad. We've made a rule that we're not going to restrict ourselves on time.
Yeah, I think that's better.
Speak about whatever we want to speak about. As long as it keeps going, we're good to go. And if just keep it interesting is the whole point of what we're doing. So again, this is lots of fun. We love doing this. So viewers, speak out to us, talk to us. If you have any questions that you'd like us to address,
comments, tell us we suck. We don't care. We just want to hear you're listening.
You know, this is a chance for you to get your voice out there. If you have any questions that you would like us to address, or what our opinions are on some stuff,
or if you think we're completely wrong, let us know.
Yeah, by all means, throw it in the comments. We're going to have this on Facebook. Put it on the comments in Facebook. We will be checking them out to see if there's anything on there that we can include on the next podcast. And until then, you have yourself a wonderful fucking couple weeks there, Max, and all the people out there, you have a good couple weeks.
Yep.
And we'll talk to you later, okay?
All right, see you guys later.
All right.
There you go. See, it feels like it's a lot more...